Happy Friday, everybody. Andy and Corbin from WagerTalk.com. Welcome to the Road to Millions. Getting started a little bit late here. I had a bunch of videos to get done, but we got 4 NFL best bets. We're going to go over some NBA and NHL props. We got your sleeper of the day, stat of the day, and I promise I will not forget to do Bankroll Reset Day. I promise I will not forget to do it. I forgot last week, and then the week before was when Steve moved over. So we're going to do that. And as always, though, guys, we got to start with some positive vibes from the audience. So please give us a like. Tell us how your week is going. Tell us if you had an awesome Thanksgiving, how your bets went yesterday. So I want to hear that. So if I'm taking a look here at some positive vibes, Rich wants us to do a cricket test batting for unbreakable sports record. I'll have to think about that. My favorite comment, though, is at DWIII163 and 5. He says, despite me whining here and there, I love the work you guys do, and the last informative video was top-notch. So I want to break this down. First off, the last informative video was top-notch. Thank you, everyone, for all the positive comments. And Corbin, great job. I think we nailed that one, and everyone has left positive comments. And DW, I thank you. Love the work you guys do. I will casually let you get away with saying, despite me whining here and there, no. All love. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for the comment. That American Gangster reference was spot on. Yes, it was. Corbin, there's one of my favorite movie quotes of all time is when this guy tells Denzel Washington that quitting while you're ahead is not necessarily quitting. And, that's kind of how I look at gambling. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Fits you
So
perfectly.
yeah, Scott, happy Thanksgiving to you too. ROI is what matters. Who cares about units when you're laying different VIG all over the place? Love that feedback about what matters more to you guys, ROI, units, or winning percentage. So, yeah, and we did go over the sports betting record Hall of Fame was a guy who played the most minutes in one NBA game. He played 69 minutes in a 5
Crazy.
overtime game. So, oh man. So, thank you guys. So leave me a comment. Tell me what's going good for you guys and what your best bets are for this weekend. All right, let's get into our 4 NFL best bets. I will start with mine, Corbin, because I just keep putting up the quarterback facing the Chargers every week, and every week it keeps hitting.
No
So,
prizes for guessing where you're going.
yeah, Lamar Jackson over 232.5 passing. It's 10-0. This like not only are they going over, they're going over by like 50 yards, 100 yards. So I don't even have to look at it anymore. Lamar Jackson is playing the Chargers this week. This would be a huge total for him. I don't care. Every time I watch the Chargers, somebody on the other team is catching the ball and nobody's within 5 yards of them. Like they're wide open. So it's going to be a big day in the passing game. I'll take Lamar. Corbin, Jalen Warren. I don't understand what's going on with this line. This line was 50.5 this morning. At the time of recording, it's 47.5. I love it even more. What do you like about Jalen Warren?
Yeah, so the opposition, they give up one of the most, I think it's the second most actually rush yards at 138.5. It's a crazy number to give up. Warren's over in 3 straight with some huge totals, 129, 101, and 88. So almost double, if not double, the total here. He's quickly taken over from Harris, or at least they're complementing each other well. I don't trust Pickett in the passing game whatsoever. Obviously, they got rid of their coach, so just need to check up on that. But I think they're going to try and keep it simple. Where do they have the biggest discrepancy, the easiest path to victory? And for me, that's running the ball here, and I think that's what they're going to do with Warren. So
Yeah, and if this backup quarterback for Cincy sucks, they could be if the Steelers get up 10-0, that could be an insurmountable lead
yeah,
for the Bengals backup. I love that play. I'm going Rashad White over. Except Corbin, I want his rushing and receiving. I want the 85.5. The reason is I've talked about my Colts and how good their rush defense was to start the year. They are so banged up. They just waived Darius Leonard. This is a team that's given up an average of 155 yards on the ground the last 3 games. They gave up 160 to the Patriots, 120 to the Panthers. The Panthers ran the ball for 120 yards against them. This
That's
is
a
just,
miracle.
yeah, this is not the same Colts rush defense. They are just ravaged by injuries. And we've talked ad nauseum about Rachaad White going over his receiving. So you know he's going to get his receiving yards. I just want to combine both in case he breaks a long run or breaks a long pass. This game plan is going to go through him. He's going to have a lot of touches in rushing and receiving. Don't be surprised if he gets 70 or 80 yards just in rushing. But I want both categories because this Colts team is just horrific against the run now, and Rachaad White keeps hitting that receiving prop. So I'll take the rushing and receiving. I think that's the first time I've done that category on this show. So you're going with Tank Dell over receiving. What do we like about Mr. Dell?
Yeah, so obviously there's quite a few factors into this one. For me, one of the key ones is that Noah Brown is still questionable. He didn't practice today, doesn't look like he's going to play. I may hold off on this one just to make sure he's not playing. But the Jags have one of the worst passing defense there is. I think they're ranked 29th out of 32. They're just awful against the pass. But I also like that they're actually good against the run. They're the fourth best against the run. And again, you're coming up with game plans, trying to work out what's best. Just take the easiest path to victory here. Stroud's on fire. Just keep the momentum going, really. If Brown's out, then Tank Dell's the clear wide receiver one, if not two. He had 145 yards versus the Jags in their first head-to-head this year, and he had 149 last week. So kind of right in the hot hand, and it's how I expect them to approach this game in the passing game. So
Yeah, we like overs here this week. Lamar Jackson over his passing, Jalen Warren over his rushing, Rachaad White over his rushing and receiving, and Tank Dell over his receiving. Four best bets for you on this Friday. Just want to remind everybody the percentages of plays and the units to bet, all the percentages. These are for, I mean, we put them in the write ups, but if you're following us long term, please stick to these. 1.5% play, we're trying to win 0.75 units. If it's a 2% play, we're trying to win a unit. 3% play, we're trying to win 1.5 units. 4% play, we're trying to win 2 units. And a 5% play, we're trying to win 3 units. There could be some exceptions to this. If there are, these will all be noted in the play line and in the description. So one of them that comes out is women's college basketball. We've tried to stick to the same amount last year and this year. So when we have a women's college basketball play, we'll go ahead and put that out. And then, same with the 4% play. We may have a 4% play that we may want to try and win 2.5 units or 3 units, but they'll all be in the play line. So, and when we do Bankroll Reset at the end, it will reflect all of the units that we put in the play line. So we're just making the change that the percentage of the plays does not totally reflect what units we're trying to win. So,
correct.
So far, just in a week, I'm very, very happy with the change that we've made. So. All right, sneaky play of the day. Well, first off, it would help if I put the right picture. I did this right before, so I talked about this on Puck Time. Alex Killorn will not have a point. This guy's been a cash cow to not have a point. He has 2 points in 9 games this season, and he has a brutal matchup. The Kings are on fire on defense. They've allowed 1 goal in the last 3 games each, so 3 goals in 3 games. And Anaheim doesn't even score that much. 5th lowest scoring team. I don't expect them to have 1 goal, maybe 2 goals, but Alex Killorn not getting it done. Even though he's on the number 1 power play unit, they're just not scoring a lot of goals and against a bad matchup. Give me Alex Killorn will not have a point. And stat of the day, Corbin, you saw me put this in. So Brock Purdy, the game manager, the dink and dunk guy, he leads the league in yards per attempt. He's a full yard higher than second place Tua Tagovailoa.
Crazy.
Yeah. He throws the ball long, guys. He's pretty good. He lost a few games in a row. Who cares? Who hasn't? So he's stretching the field. So, like you said, Corbin, you would have never guessed that in a million years. Huh?
Yeah, if you gave me those 2 players, I would take Tua without even thinking for half a second. So crazy that Purdy's above him. So
yeah. So I mean, when you got Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel and George Kittle, man, it's makes
sense.
Makes life a lot easier. So there's your stat of the day. All right, let us talk about some NBA props here, Corbin. I know you had a couple NBA ones. Which ones do we want to talk about?
So the first one I have is Jalen Brunson over 23.5 points. This one's really interesting because we've been playing his assists at parts of the season, but I think he's upped his scoring recently. So he's over in five straight, eight of his last 10. And this seems like a really good matchup for him. So I was diving into some of the head to heads. He's over in seven of their last nine head to heads, including the playoff games from last year, and three of four in recent ones, I think. It's just, I'm just riding the hot hand, quite honestly. You've got it on screen there. The amount of times he's gone over recently. I've mentioned it before. I don't trust half of this Knicks team to regularly score.
Half.
Three quarters, like 90%. Only Brunson and Randall I really trust to actually score. So at 23 and a half, I know it's a tough matchup against the Heat. I know they've got quite a good defense, but someone's going to have to score for the Knicks here. So that's where I'm looking at with Brunson. So
Nice. Anyone else you like?
my second one is Kyle Kuzma under 23 and a half. So I think he's had six straight unders. He's gone under in three of the head-to-heads versus the Bucks. They recently played, and he had 22 points in that last game. But he shot 10 for 15 from field goals. That's quite a high percentage for him, it seems. So I don't think he's going to have that same success again. And even if he does, that was 22. Obviously, this gets us an extra point and a half. He's just been struggling recently, so I'm going to take that under. So
Nice. I want to look at kind of a tricky one here. So you look at Chris Middleton over his points, rebounds, and assists, and you say, well, he's gone under, and I mean, he's not even getting close. He's gone over once. That was against Washington. He was on a minutes restriction coming off of his injury. That minutes restriction looks like it's gone. He played 29 minutes last game. That's a season high. He wasn't playing over 20 minutes. He's played 22, 23, and 29 minutes. And you look at his rebounds and assist category, I believe he's had, 12 and 13 the last two games. Hasn't shot the ball particularly well. If you want a team that you can, I don't know, have a lot of good open looks, Washington comes to mind. So he's probably, and this was the one game he did go over. This total was 31. So I think you may have some value on Chris Middleton here on some of his categories. I talked about the rebounds and assists, and yeah, so look at this. So, a slew of games not going over, and then 13 and 12 the last two games. Well, that's because his minutes have gone up, and they have this total at 10 and a half. So I think Middleton's going to have a little bit of value for the next couple games. Probably not a ton of games because the books will catch up on that. So, but I would take a look at that one, and then I wanted to bring up James Harden. So James Harden is points, rebounds, and assists is at 29 and a half. So since Westbrook went to the bench, he started off, he had 40 points against Houston. Now he only had 26 against San Antonio and then 31, so he barely got over there. They killed San Antonio. San Antonio is awful right now. Them in Detroit are just like they are so bad. They've lost, I don't know, combined it's something like 15 or 16 games in a row. So Harden didn't play as many minutes. So we look at who he plays tonight, and they play the Pelicans. This is going to be a good game. They're going to need him to play his entire minutes. They didn't play yesterday. Obviously, it was Thanksgiving, so Harden is rested. Hopefully, he didn't party too hard on Thanksgiving.
always a risk with Harden.
Yeah, hopefully, he didn't eat too much yesterday. But Pelicans defense is okay. But I see a lot more production coming from him and some of these Clipper starters now that Westbrook's coming off the bench and Terrence Mann has been starting and hasn't been doing much of anything. So I like Harden to go over his points, rebounds, and assists tonight on that low number, just because I think his numbers last couple games have been skewed because they've really done they've really waxed. They've really waxed San Antonio, and then I have to bring him up. Corbin, Alex Caruso, over 1.5 made 3-pointers. It's still like minus 120. He's hitting two of them every game. And he's not going 2 for 2. He's going like 2 of 6, like 2 of 5. Like he's done a really good job hitting some of these open shots. And he's shooting over 50% for this month. Is that going to continue? Probably not. But when you got a guy that's shooting the ball this well, A, his team trusts him. So it's not like they're not going to pass him the ball. And B,
Yeah.
he's feeling confident, so he's going to keep shooting it. So I want him against Toronto. Toronto's middle of the road in points and 3-pointers allowed. I just like the attempts that I'm seeing from Alex Caruso. And you don't you don't see this normally where a guy is like hitting his over on a shot prop like this. And to get it at minus 120, I just feel like the value is 100% there. So that's a
Yeah.
sneaky one. Alex Caruso, who I did not see that, oh man, yeah, you got to play those Alex Caruso 3-point shots. I did not see that coming. So those are a couple looks for tonight here in the NBA. I'll go over some NHL. I talked about Alex Killorn to not have a point. Kucherov is interesting here. Kucherov 3.5 shots on goal. I mean, you bring it up because
Ooh.
he's gone over every single freaking time. Problem is, Carolina allows the least amount of shots on goal. So
Yeah.
I just
It's that
like
tough area always where you want to ride the hot hand and he's been going over, but the matchup just doesn't suit it. So
when in doubt, just I
leads
just
to a stay away. So
just lay off. Yeah, I just lay off. So who's been lighting it up? Well, the Vancouver guys, JT Miller and Quinn Hughes. The problem is these things are so juiced that you would have to use them as a parlay piece, and I don't really want to do that. I would also mention Brandon Montour and Sam Bennett, the Florida Panther guys. Winnipeg defense has been playing pretty good recently, and so Brandon Montour has only played 3 games, doesn't have a point in any of them, and I'm not really sure they're going to put up a ton of goals in this game. I think they tend to put up goals against the bad teams and struggle a bit against the good teams. So Brandon Montour, I would look at, and then his teammate, same thing. You got Sam Bennett, who's been dealing with injuries. So he sat out a few games and then he came back and you see he only has 1 point since he came back. That was against Edmonton, the second worst defense in the league behind only San Jose. So again, they're playing a decent, defensive team. So I think if you played both of them, you're looking at 1-1 at the worst. And if you get 0-2, then you got a nice little play. Or if you just want to try and pick one, I think I would go with Bennett actually. I trust Montour. He seems to be playing a little bit more minutes and has a few more shots on goal. So those are the ways that I would look at in the points. Other than that, William Nylander, man, value is completely gone on him. He's minus 500 to have a point. Like a week ago,
jeez.
yeah, he was like minus 238. He has a point in every single game, but not much I can do
It's
about that
far
one.
too juicy to tie into a parlay. We've mentioned parlays before, but to take minus 500 on some of these kind of sports is not the way to look. So
No, no. So that's about all I have for NBA and NHL. Corbin, you want to? What is? So I guess what do we have going on, guys? Just you get the 7-day pass. We have plays kind of coming and going in every sport. We got a PFL play that is up. We've got an NHL play that up. But if you haven't got that 7-day pass, it's only $69. It includes all sports, all percentages. We've got a Formula One race this weekend, and we might be light on NBA and NHL this weekend, but we still have our college football team totals that we haven't put up yet. We still have some more NFL plays. So grab the 7-day pass. It's $69. Includes all sports, all percentages. Off to a nice start this week. Just grab that at Andy Lang's profile at WagerTalk.com. Corbin, what do we have going on for soccer? I know you said a little cautious this week.
yeah, so as I've mentioned, they're coming back off the international break. I'm just going to take it quite cautiously this week, actually. I will probably still have some plays up, probably more likely for Sunday at the minute by the looks of things. I am going to the City Liverpool game tomorrow, so hopeful for a good game there, but no particular plays in that one at the minute anyway. Just wait on some team lineups, see if because obviously some players are getting back so late, teams may opt to rest them, start them from the bench and bring them on later in the game so they're not playing full minutes. It's kind of a wait and see, but I'm sure at some point, particularly Sunday, we'll have some plays. So
Nice. Looking forward to that. All right, let us do Bankroll Reset Day. So, I admittedly have messed up over the last couple weeks. So, hopefully, you guys have taken care of your own bankroll reset. Like I said, I've nobody to blame but myself for not doing it last week. So what we're just gonna do is we're just gonna go back into the last time we did it and take a look at how we've done since then. So we're up plus 8.7 units since then. So if we want to look at plus 8.7, our average, our 1 unit was $11.54. So we multiply that plus 8.7, and we end up with a final bankroll of 1,254. So 1 unit for the next week is 12.54. So again, this is our example of bankroll. If we just started with $1,000 and didn't put anything in, so if you guys have the spreadsheet, you guys should be doing your bankroll reset every week. Hopefully, you're more responsible than I am, and I will get back to doing this every Friday. So we can take a look here at what's happened the last couple weeks. So we're plus 8.7 units. So I'll go through these. So NFL is we're 6-6 minus 9.98 units. That's a little deceiving because the last couple weeks we changed our approach and we're up. So
Yeah.
we had a bad week a few weeks ago. So I'm pretty excited about what NFL looks like moving forward. Like I said,
Yeah,
we're,
I
we're
think we went 4-1 last weekend in
we did.
NFL, so
Yeah, we
kind of
did.
skews it. So
Yeah, we're like 6-3 the last 9 plays, so I feel good about that. College football, we went 1-1 over the last 2 weeks. NHL been a very big bright spot, 8-1 for plus 11.05 units. So really excited about NHL. MMA, we went 2-1 for minus 0.8 units. We hit our two 1% plays, and then we lost the 2% play, so we got juiced out on that one. Tennis was 4-2 for plus 2.7 units. Look at those cross sport parlays, 5-1 for plus 6.7 units. So happy to see those working out. I know two of them was an NBA and NHL play, and I'm assuming we had like NFL and probably a Formula One. So soccer, pretty low volume, 3-2 plus 1.53 units, and then Formula One. We only had one outright Formula One play, and that was
yeah,
a two unit winner on that one. So looking forward to how everything is going, especially NHL. That one's looking really, really good. So I don't see NBA on there. I forgot to pull the NBA stats, but I looked and we are what 14-10 on the season. So I only had two plays this week, and we went 1-1 on those. So not much to report on NBA. So that's going to be how we're looking. Pretty excited for what we have looking for. I know we lost I know we lost the 5% yesterday, but we also hit a 4% and a 2%. And we have other NFL plays that are pending that we hit parlay legs in
yeah.
yesterday. So NFL actually, we took the one big loss, but I fully expect to come out profitable this week. So, and then
Shows the value of those 7-day passes that we were just discussing. Like you see the amount of different sports we have, different plays. It kind of just doesn't funnel you and limit you to just one or two of those plays. It gives you a wide berth to see all our different sports. So
it is why I push the seven. Whenever we have a 7-day or a 90-day pass, and there is a 90-day pass special that's coming out. I'll talk about it on Sunday. I really, really emphasize it because, yeah, we want you to get a full 7-day sample of what we do. Like one play, you can hit or miss, but over seven
yeah.
days, you get a pretty good idea of our handicapping style, what our write ups are, things that we like to play. So, encourage everyone to take advantage of that. So, yeah, so get the 7-day pass. You don't need a promo code. Just go to Andy Lang's profile page at WagerTalk.com and grab that. Looking forward to a really good weekend. Couple other things. I have no idea what's going on with the college team totals. They're not out yet for tomorrow. It must be the holiday. We had a women's college basketball play on Wednesday. That was a nightmare because they just didn't even have lines up at some of the normal ones. And then on Thursday they did have the lines. So it's like what?
Strange.
Yeah. So
I, I will say with women's college basketball, I think you may have mentioned this before. If you don't have it pre-game, check as soon as it goes in play. They seem to add a lot more matchups when they start, so you can grab the plays then as well
yeah,
sometimes.
those are the live lines. Be careful. Don't go crazy on the live lines.
Yeah.
Like
Only
if
if
you
it's what we've already suggested at the start. Don't start playing it midway through or towards
yes.
the end or different numbers. Just try and stick to as soon as it goes in play is what I'm trying to say.
The only sport I will do any live lines right now these days, Corbin, is MMA. It's the only sport I
Yeah,
won't. I just kind of made it a rule for myself that I don't really do live lines. I just find it can be so addicting. You're like, oh, I'll take this. Oh, I'll take this. Oh, I'll take that. And then if it goes great, you feel awesome. If it doesn't
yeah,
go good, it's really brutal. So yeah, so I don't anticipate any more problems. I feel like it was just before the holiday with that women's college basketball play, and then I have no idea what's going on with the team totals in college. As soon as they come out, I'll get the play up. I even know what team I want to take too. I already have the play ready to go. Just I need to get the line out.
beat the
So
sports book to your own play.
seriously, yeah, it must just be the holiday week. So bear with us. We'll get it out as soon as possible. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Hit the like button, leave us a comment. We will be back on Sunday to get you ready for all of the Sunday morning news, notes, and the final player prop totals and lines. So join us then. Good luck on all your plays, and we will see you every Sunday on the Road to Millions.
Good luck.